but I think Kobe is more skilled than any player that's ever played that I've seen.
But I'm not going to move LeBron past Kobe. I don't think that's fair.
Kobe, and probably the second best player than LeBron.
Not fair.
I don't understand.
It was a dream team.
As much as I like LeBron, and he's one of the greatest I've seen, why do they just brush him past Kobe Bryant?
I would put Kobe over LeBron in my top 10. If I had to be a top 10, Kobe would be over LeBron.
You're right about Kobe. He sort of gets lost in this. I'm not sure why.
Kobe or LeBron? The chosen one versus the Black Mamba. Just where do these two all-time greats stand when they are compared to each other in the GOAT debate? Kobe is all too often left out of the GOAT debate, and seems like the modern media has amnesia to just how good Kobe was during his prime. He was relentless on both offense and the defensive end, and was the closest thing we had seen to his airness. But unlike his airness, Kobe played in the exact same era as King James, so it seems much easier to compare these two legends to determine just who was greater in their illustrious careers. The easiest and most relevant way to compare Kobe and LeBron is to use the seasons that both played in the NBA at the same time. This removes all different era debates, all different NBA talent, and different competitions, as each of these titans was up against the same players at the exact same time. So let's compare the stats for each of these players for the 2003 to 2013 seasons. When you look at the overall stats for this time frame, you will notice that they look eerily similar to each other. LeBron has a slight edge in the field goal percentage. They shot a similar percentage from the three-point line, but Kobe has the edge in free throw percentage. They're nearly identical on offensive rebounds, which is interesting considering LeBron is 3 inches and 35 pounds heavier than Kobe. LeBron stands out as the leader in defensive rebounds, assists, and blocks, while they're almost a tie in steals and turnovers. To no surprise, Kobe leads in the scoring department, but since James is bigger and plays the forward position compared to Kobe being a guard, it is not an apples to apples comparison just using base stats. We need to take context into account, as each of these players had specific roles in the court that do not directly relate to each other. LeBron plays closer to the basket and handles the ball more, so he should have more rebounds and assists, while Kobe is more of a scoring machine, so it is expected that he would end up having more points. And if you look at the shooting percentage, it is easy to see why LeBron has the edge in this category. He shoots the ball at a much closer to the rim. In fact, if you look at LeBron's last few games in his playoff series to the Denver Nuggets, besides three-pointers, he only made 5 shots outside of the 5 feet from the rim. From his career, when you take out three-pointers, which each shot at similar percentage, there isn't a single distance where LeBron shoots a better percentage than Kobe. So let's compare each of these players to other all-time greats at their same position to determine just how much each stands out. Compared to all the other small forwards in the NBA history, LeBron has ranked 21st in offensive rebounds, 1st in defensive rebounds, assists, and points, 2nd in steals, and 6th in blocks. Adding all these rankings together comes up with a sum of 32. Kobe, on the other hand, is top 5 for all categories, being 1st in defensive rebounds and points, 3rd in assists and steals, and 4th in offensive rebounds and blocks. The sum of his rankings comes in at a much lower number 16, showing that Kobe beats out LeBron for the all-time stats when each player is compared to the other players at the same position. But individual statistics only tell part of the story, as what is basketball all about?
You play to win the game. You don't play to just play it.
Kobe won the title 5 times compared to LeBron only doing this 4 times. LeBron has the edge in Finals MVP and regular season MVP, and a lot of this has to do with that Kobe playing alongside Shaq during a major portion of his prime years. It is very interesting that Kobe and Shaq each only have 1 MVP compared to the all other all-time greats having won this award numerous times. This just goes to show that while teaming up with Shaq resulted in one of the most dominant dynasties in NBA history, being only the 3rd team all-time to record a 3-peat championship run, it also resulted in Kobe having to sacrifice some individual accolades to share the spotlight with Shaq. Kobe won the scoring title 2 times compared to LeBron only doing it once. However, LeBron won the assist title, which nets each player with 2 times. They led the league in an individual category. The defensive side is where Kobe really stands out compared to LeBron. While each player was a lockdown defender in their early years, only Kobe continued this high level of play on his defensive side into his 30s, being named first team defensive 9 times compared to LeBron only doing it 5 times. LeBron tended to start conserving his energy on defense in order to be able to maintain his outstanding offensive numbers. This may be a reason LeBron's team have only managed 2 championships once the King decided that defense wasn't really that important anymore, despite having stacked teams with numerous All-Stars. In fact, LeBron has played with 7 players who made the All-Star team the same year they played with LeBron, while Kobe only had 6 players who did this. And if you look at the times each player had multiple All-Stars on their team in the same season, LeBron had this luxury 4 times in Miami when he teamed up with Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh, and then yet again when he jumped ship to go back to Cleveland and teamed up with another super team, joining forces with Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love. Kobe, on the other hand, only had this one time in his career when Shaq, Eddie Jones, and Nick Van Exel were on the Lakers. In fact, Kobe is the only player in NBA history to repeat as NBA champion despite not having another top 75 player all time on his team. Kobe carried a much heavier burden in willing his teams to win the title since he didn't have the same supporting cast. So, it is clear that LeBron has played with much better talent and despite this, still ends up with only 4 titles compared to Kobe's 5. And just what about the other competition that each had to face in their path to the championship? Was the path to each NBA title harder for one of these players than the others? Looking at the opponent's team record for each year of the playoffs and each round of the playoffs, it is a good way to compare the difficulty LeBron and Kobe had to face en route to their NBA titles. LeBron had a relatively easy path through the conference side of the playoffs, as he only had to face around 500 record teams in the first round and a slightly better opponents in the conference semifinals and the conference finals. His finals opponents proved to be tougher competition as teams recorded a 7-6 winning percentage. Kobe, on the other hand, was faced first-round opponents with almost a 600 winning percentage, and this jumps to around 700 winning percentage for the conference semifinals and conference finals. The West was definitely the stacked conference during Kobe's reign, as his finals opponents' winning percentage actually decreased a bit from his conference finals opponents. Looking at their opponents' winning percentage side by side, it is easy to see that overall Kobe had a much tougher road to winning 5 championships, as his conference opponents had almost a 10 percentage point advantage over LeBron's conference opponents. And what kind of individual talent did each of LeBron and Kobe's opponents have, which faced more top 75 all-time players during the championship season? Well, LeBron has faced a number of top 75 opponents, 14 to be exact if you include the Joker, who technically didn't make the top 75 list but will definitely be on there now. However, Kobe has faced even more top talent as he faced 20 top 75 players in his road to the title. And when you place these opponents side by side, you see that Kobe has played much tougher individual talent during his title runs. Boxing off similar opponents shows that Kobe has a large number of opponents in the spots, 20 to 45, compared to LeBron's just having 1 opponent. So, in summary, when we compare the stats per game during their concurrent times in the NBA, it's a tie with no clear winner in this area. However, when you compare each player and how they rank to the all-time list at their respective position, Kobe is the clear winner in this area. LeBron was shown to have a much better supporting cast throughout his career, so Kobe in this area too. Lastly, when you look at who played against tougher teams, Kobe wins in that area, along with also facing tougher individual talent. So it's a 4-0 sweep in favor of Kobe, proving that when you're talking about the GOAT, you should list Kobe ahead of LeBron. But then again, there's someone lurking high above each of these players. His dominance is unchallenged, and his immortal place in history is forever etched in stone. If you want to check out who the real GOAT is, take a look at my video comparing MJ to LeBron. Let me know in the comments if you agree or why would you disagree with this analysis. As always, I'd appreciate it if you'd hit that subscribe button, and thanks for watching.